So we've watched them before. We've had a good laugh and some serious cringe. This one is Gen Z mechanic reacts to boomer car fails. So, Eki, I know this one may hurt you. I'm sorry, but it's probably gonna be fucking hilarious what happens here. I'm sorry, I know this will pain you deeply. Yes, Mike, I am using a voice changer. I've used a voice changer since the first moment I started to stream. Mhm. Okay, let us check this out. Eki, again, my sympathies.
I'm Steph, and I'm an Audi technician.
Hi, I'm the earthly remains of Bob Hall, and since this is my first time to be here with Steph, I'm so excited. Howdy, partner.
Wait, who is he? Oh, he's the inventor of the fucking Miata? Holy shit. They have the inventor of the fucking Mazda Miata. Wow. Impressive.
Remains of Bob Hall, and since this is my first time to be here with Steph, I'm so excited. Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
No, Audi.
I said Audi.
Oh, okay.
Today, we're gonna take a look at cars from your generation, Bob.
Mine?
And we're gonna see if they're really built as well as they say they are. Let's see that first clip. Whoa.
Hey, hot stuff. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, all right.
I gotta say one thing.
Come on, dude.
No, I gotta say one thing here. This is a 1949 or 50 car. You weren't allowed to say then, were you?
What would you say back then?
I don't know. I wasn't born until 53.
Way past Bob's time, guys. Brent is not treating this fire with urgency.
It doesn't look like it.
Everyone over there is huffing and puffing, and Brent's just not doing.
Brent's
Look at him giggling it up.
Brent's full of hot air.
Yes, Alex, I think he did as a joke. Hi, 6. We're watching Gen Z mechanics react to boomer car fails, but they have the creator of the Mazda Miata as one of their panelists.
The car is a 1949 or 50 Ford. Real hard to tell from the outside. I suspect...
Is that coming from the carb?
Well, it was a carb, but the engine might be a original flathead Ford where the valves are in the block, not in the head.
Was this a common occurrence with carburetors back in the day?
When you started fiddling around with them, yes. As they came from the factory, they were reasonably good in that regard.
What if you had to work on them and then you started fiddling around?
Well, first of all, you'd wear a fireproof suit. No, just when guys were tuning, they were getting on the edge of what the carbies could do. Okay. And the manufacturers always played it safe, but that's why you didn't hear so much about fire spitting out of engines in, Grandma's 1953 Hudson. Okay.
Our grandmas are safe. They were not going to catch on fire as long as they just kept up the maintenance and took it to a Ford dealer, right?
But our dads, who were messing around with the cars, they were, if you'll excuse a pun, playing with fire. Kill me.
Get this carb out of my face. Let's see that next video. Whoa!
Oh shit, that's a Mustang.
It's interesting.
Oh my god, how could they do that to this poor Mustang fastback? Oh, this is criminal. This is fucking criminal. Oh god. This hurts me. This hurts me dearly. Yeah, red flag, big fucking red flag. Oh, I mean, when Ford brought back the fastback design for the Mustang, oh, I was in love. I used to have one. I used to have a Mustang. When Ford released one of the when they released Mustang back in the fastback model, we got one. So for a little while, I had one of those Ford Mustang fastbacks. It was sweet to drive. It was sweet to drive, but man, I mean, there's nothing like these classics. Yeah, I need. Oh God, this is painful.
Whoa!
It's interesting. That's
not a fastback.
recently modified car.
Okay, that wasn't a fastback though. I only saw the front there in the beginning. I didn't see the back, so that wasn't a fastback. So the paint is diminished slightly because I wasn't a big fan of those style Mustangs, the ones that showed in the video.
Because he's got LED headlights and all kinds of other
I like those little halo headlights.
Day look stuff. Now I got to be honest, that may or may not be a carbureted car.
What makes you say that?
If he's done an engine swap, I can't see well enough, but let me check one thing here, okay? Let me just check.
Okay, get closer to it. Go do some investigating, Bob. Let us know. Let the people know.
No, I can't tell. Sorry.
You're killing me, Bob. You're killing me.
It could be. You know what it could be? It could be a conventional supercharger.
Actually?
A belt-driven one. Because the thing behind the belt looks like it might be a centrifugal supercharger.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
I mean, I've never seen it.
Now, logic
like
says,
that.
I'm suspecting it probably is an original 289 or 260 or whatever. But having said that, I think what we're seeing here is a classic example of someone who didn't really know what the fuck he was doing.
This dude's fiddling around with some stuff. I'm not well versed on carbs, so I would never do that direct fuel injection all the way. But maybe it's because I don't understand carbs. Could you explain a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the very first carburetor wasn't a carburetor. In a very early auto engine, there was a little bowl outside the intake port, and the gasoline vapor evaporating would be sucked in. That was the theory. They had carburetors with 2 barrels, which would be 2 things that would then feed, or 4. You had various different kinds of carburetors, but they all work basically the same way in a somewhat imprecise manner, getting fuel.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But just think about it in another context. They worked for decades. So something must have been right.
Yeah.
The only place that the carburetors would be good for you would be if.
No, Shadow. I don't think fastback is bad. Not at all. I fucking love the fastback. I fucking love the fastback. Oh, the one in the video. The one in the video wasn't a fastback. That's the thing. When they zoomed out a little bit, it ended up not being a fastback. It was when Mustang it looks like Mustang had transitioned out of the fastback model at that point. Still a Mustang, and I still have a sweet spot for Mustangs, but it wasn't the fastback, so it didn't hurt quite as badly to me.
If Audi had carburetors, you'd get a lot of work.
Oh, of course.
That's it.
Of course. I'd be a little scared dealing with some fire and stuff.
You just get an asbestos suit, you're fine.
They say that older cars were built like tanks. But is that really true? This next clip shows what happens when a 2009 Chevy Malibu collides with a Chevy Bel Air from 1959.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
tanks.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Ooh.
That Bel Air's
Jesus.
still good. Just needs a little bit of body work done.
Oh,
Some new
God.
glasses.
Did you see the front end? Watch the seat. Watch
Just needs
this
a little bit
seat.
of body work done.
Look at that.
Some new glasses.
Removal of the blood and from the interior.
Yeah, clean it out a little bit,
Oh.
and then you're solid back on the road.
It is fascinating how the Bel Air just kind of disassembled itself so brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key here. That is the key. Is the old school cars, if they get into an accident, they simply just disassemble, which means shit flying everywhere. Whereas modern vehicles have the crumple zone. So while they're still going to get equally destroyed, they are specifically designed to crumple to absorb said impact. Plus, you've got the things like the modern airbags and everything. I mean, that's the big difference. I mean, you can see like the fucking hood goes flying on this thing. And then the seats inside obviously are not bolted down very well. So neither car is built to withstand an impact. It's just the newer car is built that when an impact happens, it'll be as safe as can be possible given the situation.
When they built cars in the 50s, they didn't build them to crash them. Because of safety regulations now, that's under a point of consideration for everybody at every stage of the vehicle development process.
Gotcha.
Another thing is, if you look at cars, they are physically larger than they used to be. Okay? And one of the reasons is to put more real estate between you and the thing that's going to hit you.
Okay.
So there is a certain rationality to it. Big difference between the cars in the 50s, particularly full-size American cars. They were built on a separate chassis, like a pickup truck is, and then the body was built and added. Almost all passenger cars today are what they call unit construction.
Yeah, unibodies, right?
Yeah, unibody, exactly. And unit bodies are a double-edged sword in terms of crash protection.
Still got another 14 minutes, Eki. Gird your loins and douse yourself in some holy water.
They can protect you better, but if they take a big hit, I think the level at which you, the level at which you decide.
Yeah, Alex? I was in a... Yeah, Jeeps are fucking tough. Jeeps are fucking tough. I was in a Jeep with someone, and I think the Jeep was... I want to say it was a 96 Jeep, but I can't remember exactly. And I was in a Jeep, and we were, just headed down the road, and up ahead of us, we kind of went, are those headlights? And the headlights were getting closer, and they were getting closer. And it's like, oh shit, those are headlights coming right at us at high speed. Sure enough, head-on Wrangler, Tenio, Wrangler. Head-on fucking collision with this car driving on the wrong and the wrong direction of traffic. Head-on collision with it. Big impact. The other car, strut and crumple, engine block partially into the passenger seat, I think. The Jeep, the paint on the bumper got scuffed a little bit, and that was it. Yeah, Jeeps back in the day, and by the way, the driver of the other car was drunk. Duh. But yeah, the Wrangler was fine. The Wrangler was totally fine. And it's like, and yeah, since then, the construction of Jeeps, okay, Rygot, have a good night's sleep. And yeah, since then, this was back when, this Jeep was made back when the front bumper was basically a solid piece of steel. Hi, Plug. Oh, Moros, don't tell me that. That's painful to hear. That is so painful. But yeah, this is when Jeeps had like solid steel bumpers. And since then, obviously, yeah, the Jeeps have gone through big changes. The bumpers are not as solid and as sturdy anymore. The overall construction, they Jeep went mainstream in terms of their construction and such. Obviously, not the same. But back then, like the 90s Jeeps, those fucking things were built like tanks. They could take a fucking impact. But not any.
If you decide to throw the car away, it comes a little earlier.
And
Next
the four-wheel drive
Whether
could drive through
old,
anything.
if you love cars like Bob and I, you're gonna be tempted to give your car more power. But when it comes to modifying old cars, how much extra power is too much? Let's take a look at this 1,300 horsepower Mercury Comet.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh!
Oh Jesus!
It's a 64 Comet.
Holy shit! Not only did his brakes go, it sounded like his clutch went too, because look at him, he goes faster.
Mercury
Or
Comet.
I think he's trying to shift down.
Oh my gosh!
It's a 64
God.
Comet. I guess since he's in a Comet, he had to go to Haley's.
Alistair? That looked like it was a manual shift, not an automatic. There is no park. Oh, Well, yeah, because he was trying to hit the brakes and it wasn't working. I'm thinking he was trying to downshift it. That's my suspicion. No, I don't think the throttle got stuck. Let's hear it again. I think he said no brakes. Hang on, I think he said no brakes.
Your comment.
Yeah, he said no, yeah, he lost the brakes. He lost the brakes, and I think he's panicking, trying to downshift to reduce the speed, and he can't get it into gear. I don't know why that is, I don't know, but he was trying to get it downshifted. So, whew. Yeah, the RPMs were going faster. But whether or not that's because he wasn't in a gear because he was trying, it's automatic with a ratchet shifter?
Oh my god!
That doesn't look like an automatic to me. That does not. Let's see if we can get a better angle. Hang on. Come on, you. Oh, you piece of shit. Okay, there we go. Hang on. That's not a that's not an automatic. Does look like automatic ratchet shifter. That looks like it's a manual. Cause you see how he's wiggling it? That looks like he was. Well, if the brakes aren't working, the emergency brake's not gonna work. Hold the hooks and push forward downshift. So Alistair, it's a manual, not an automatic, right? Am I correct? Cause it looked like he was working this shifter like it was a manual. That's what it looked like.
Oh my gosh!
You know, it's a 64 comment. I guess since he's in a comment, he had to go to Haley's.
And from the grinding, it was sounding like maybe he was panicking and couldn't get it into a lower gear to try and slow it down. I'm thinking the ramp up on the RPMs, because we were hearing the grinding, my guess is it was stuck in neutral because he couldn't get it into a gear. And maybe that's why the RPMs ramped up, because if the accelerator's stuck in some way and it's in neutral, it's going to ramp up. And that's my guess. Because with that grinding, it sounded like he couldn't get it into a lower gear. He was maybe panicking or something.
That face was already making me feel something. I was anticipating it. I was scared in my seat.
It's funny. The driver actually looks like he's kind of enjoying it.
I think this is that face of like, the inevitable is gonna happen. Let's just roll with it.
Except he could have turned the ignition off. A 1964 car will not have a locking steering column. Okay? And let me add this. Whoever modified the car probably removed the e-brake because Comets had an emergency brake. It was a pull handle on the left-hand side. Okay? You had to have an emergency brake in an American car, which in those days were called parking brakes.
I feel like if you're going for that much power in a car, regardless if it's an old car or a new car, you have to be prepared with brakes.
Yeah. And you have to know the controls of the car. So it may very well have had an emergency brake, but this guy, assuming he's not an old fart like me, okay, had never ever seen an.
I'm gonna do one more than this, in that he didn't know that it had an e-brake. He had so little time. He had maybe 5 to 8 seconds from when he said, "Oh shit, I've lost the brakes," and he was panicking. He didn't have any time. If that e-brake, yeah, I know. That pause, had to be done. He probably didn't have enough time to pull that e-brake, if it's even there in the first place, if he knew about it. You know, he had 5 to 8 seconds. Pulling that e-brake would not have made a difference in that situation, honestly. He was just trying to maintain control in some way, and, well, we saw the result.
Parking emergency brake on a 1964 Comet.
All right, so these guys are actually from Autotopia, LA. We're so thankful that y'all are good. We love what you guys are doing with the channel. We're sending you best wishes on a new car.
Or getting this one fixed.
There you go. Better yet, get this one fixed, and we'd love to see it. All right, let's crash into that next clip.
Considering that engine was probably destroyed. What the?
He's trying to do a burnout? What's he doing?
Early 50s Ford pickup truck.
Whoa! Whoa!
Look. They all do that.
That was his drive shaft? That looks like his drive shaft.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't think that was restored or updated to any degree. And it might just have been the old parts being used in a way that they were never expected to be used.
PSA, this guy was buying somebody else's project car. He found out that the U-bolts were shortened and welded back.
Oh, nice!
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. That potential buyer must have been pissed. I hope to God he didn't give that guy any money. Yeah, the guy that was driving the truck was looking to buy that truck, which was a project car, and apparently later found out some very crucial pieces of equipment were shortened and welded back into place. Basically, Jameson, the seller was trying to scam the buyer. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. Please don't start having a seizure on me. I know you're on the verge.
Ooh.
This raises the why question, okay?
Why? Yeah, why would you do that?
Dog's balls.
Dog's balls?
Dog's balls. It's an Australian term. Why does a dog lick its balls? Because it can. Dog's balls. I rest my case.
I love the Aussies for this. Thank you, Down Under, for dog's balls.
I'm in my 1950 Studebaker, and it's raining. So I'm going to need to use my windshield wipers today. But the windshield wipers on this car are operated by vacuum, which is an interesting thing. So obviously I have rain, and this is actually the control for the windshield wipers.
Looks like a booger.
So as I open it up, they start running. Pretty straightforward.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Notice something?
Now, what you're noticing here is that when I step on the gas, it drops the amount of vacuum produced and therefore causes the windshield wipers to slow or almost stop.
Vacuum wipers were actually pretty much standard on most American cars.
Really?
Yep. So you can't blame this entirely on Studebaker. They started going away, vacuum wipers, in the mid 50s, replaced by electric. I was always fascinated by electric wipers were probably far more popular in European cars than anything in the States.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those things that it made sense at the time for the engineers sitting at their desks.
Also, chat, if you weren't aware, there is a movie that came out to the life of me. I think it's called Flash of Genius, perhaps? I can't recall exactly the name of it. But there was a docudrama made about the man who invented the intermittent windshield wiper, and how I think car companies tried to bully him into giving him their design or the patent or something like that. I think it was called Flash of Genius, Shoutify. I believe that was its name. Yeah, and he got hosed on the patent by the car manufacturers. Yeah, that's if you're interested. I remember I never saw it myself, but I heard about it. So that's an interesting little, bit of car history if you're interested.
In a nice dry studio, okay? But they were really dopey.
So modern windshield wipers are driven by electric motors. Really, you take off your little base of your wiper blades, and you can see the little motor. It's a little thing that sticks up, and it rotates.
Yes. Some cars actually use a single motor with shafts in between.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That's real common because.
Video game noob. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you very much.
It's cheaper. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, vacuum's a wonderful thing in space.
Most mechanics will say working on boomer cars is easier than the new stuff, but not every mechanic will agree. Let's see why.
So as you guys can tell by our driveway and our videos, we love flipping old cars, but there's a lot of cons that come with buying them. If I'm being honest, I've never even seen a 10 or 15-year-old car with a perfect interior. So naturally, when we buy these 40 or 50-year-old cars, the interiors are trash. And unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, buying original parts like headliners and dashboards are much more expensive than exterior parts or even engine parts. And that's why sometimes it's not even worth fixing the interior of classic cars, even though that's what people pay the big money for.
Yeah.
And if you don't already know how to work on these old things, it's pretty hard to learn how to. Because it's super easy to find videos on how to fix your new Honda or your new Toyota, but who's still making YouTube videos on 80s
Camino.
One of my dream cars, Bob, since I was a child, is I want to own this El Camino. That is what I want. I'm going to run into some issues.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that who is it that did the El Camino? Well, what car manufacturer did the El Camino? Well, I'm glad you're here, video game noob. I hope you're having fun, because that's what we're all about, is just having fun. Chevy. Okay, I couldn't remember. I'm really surprised Chevy has not brought the El Camino back. I think if Chevy brought back and modernized the El Camino, I think that fucker would sell like hotcakes. I really do. I mean, why, Jameson, why not? It's a car. You got, it's the, the El Camino is basically a body style. The El Camino's not a truck. That's the thing, the El Camino is not a truck. It's a car. So you're basically taking what would normally be a 5-seater car. Would it? Would it though? That's the question. Would it be considered as a truck? Because you're gonna have a car engine in it. And I think it would be able to get past the EPA because you're putting a car engine in it. You're not putting a truck engine in it. Yeah, Alistair, we watched another one on why we don't have light trucks anymore. But this one, I think they could do it where they could get it past the EPA because of the engine. The engine is a car engine, therefore the emissions on it are far lighter, which would make me think that it would be able to get past the EPA. Or to make it a 5-seater. You can make it as an optional 5-seater with the back seats being fold away. And then you could probably have like some kind of attachment where you can fold up or fold down the bed, similar to like a Jeep. I don't know. Experimental concept, it did work out. Are they? Okay. Okay, so they did experiment with the modern concept of it. Unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, I think if people could actually bring back the El Camino, I think it would sell like hotcakes. Because you know what I'm thinking? It would be similar to Subaru has got something similar. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Hang on. I'm pretty sure Subaru. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Or maybe they don't make it anymore. They may not make it anymore. Okay, I know, yeah, because I vaguely remember seeing Subaru had something. Yeah, the Baja. The Baja. And I guess they don't make it anymore. So, I don't know, maybe it's the EPA rules cause problems with that too. Anyway, That's just my quick little thought.
The one thing, I mean, and it's a valid point, but when you talk about restoring an old car, how much? How much is enough? In a situation like that, I could easily see swapping the engine out completely for a much more modern engine that's fuel injected, and that would simplify things considerably.
Absolutely.
Considerably.
It seems a lot harder of a task for the guys that want to stick to just
Sure.
OG.
If they want to restore it to, right off the showroom floor, that's fine, but good luck. And I suspect it will also require some deeper pockets.
And you know what? Shout out to those YouTube videos, man. I look up YouTube videos nowadays for like my little Honda, and there's like at least 20 videos of some dudes back in the day that are figuring it out for me. This, not so easy. And I mean, you're not here all the time, Bob. If you were, I'd be like, Bob, come on, let's take on this project.
Excuse me, I've got to go.
Let's see that next clip, guys.
66 Tornado.
Tornado.
Oh, it's beautiful.
White smoke coming from engine bay or engine through the breather cap can be seen behind car white smoke.
Ooh.
That's not good.
No.
It's really not good at all. Pinging noise when accelerating, things at all times. Steering column, turn signal, brake lights, backup lights, horn. Paint correction, you can see has some pretty serious
Swirls and
light surface
scratches.
scratches all over the
Whoa.
car. About 9 o'clock tonight, I'm tired.
You can see that this is not his first rodeo, but he wants it to be his last.
Yep. He's picked off this 66 Tornado first year, highly collectible car, first front.
Yeah, video game noob, me too. I didn't hear anything about, John Deere Caterpillar and Freightliner trying to get into the pickup line. That's probably not something we're going to be seeing here in Canada anytime in the near future, would be my guess. If it even gets off the ground. I mean, they've got some stiff competition, so who the hell knows?
Wheel drive car from a major American manufacturer produced in volume. It had chain drive, little known fact.
Wow. Okay, so with the white smoke coming out of there, what do you think? It might be just.
When we saw it happening, is it white smoke, or dare I say, could it be steam? Could he be leaking water?
You know what? That was my first thought too. My first thought when you popped off that, and you saw the quote-unquote white smoke, my first thought was that looks a lot like steam, not smoke, because it was much thinner. It was much thinner in its consistency, and I was thinking, could that be steam? Yeah, I know. So I thought the same thing.
Water somewhere into the engine, which would explain why that would happen. White smoke is a bit of an odd one to me, because usually you end up with gray or something else. So does it look like it's dissipating?
I mean, that looks like steam. That doesn't look like smoke. The consistency is far too light to be smoking, from what I'm thinking. That looks like steam.
Quickly? Yeah, that could very well be steam. In that case, if we're talking something that's gone bad in the cooling system, is it
like
the
a
cooling
whole
system,
wormhole.
or is it a problem in the engine?
Aki, I suppose that could be possible, but given the location, could you think that could be the high octane fuel causing that, given its location in the engine? He was thinking it might be something more. I think I paused him right in the middle of it, where he's saying it could have been like water pump, perhaps, which does perhaps seem likely, given what we were seeing. That'll be my guess.
That's everyone's nightmare. Once coolant starts getting somewhere in your engine where it should not be, that is a complete nightmare.
That right there would have me kind of backing up and saying, I'll talk to you later, and never see the guy again.
Okay, have you ever seen a piston pin being held in by a bolt?
No.
Check that out. Yep,
This is foreign.
that's so...
Oh, and Video Game Noob, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Thank you so much. That's being guacamole.
weird. Okay,
Yes,
where's the pin? Oh, there's the... Yep.
This is a car imported from South Bend, Studebaker.
That's wicked that you know that off the bat just by seeing that. Would you say that there's any pros to using this technique instead of what we're used to now when we see?
I would say in the context of today, there's no pros but a lot of amateurs.
Okay. So this was just them coming up with new technology. This was them just being quirky and saying, let's try this out.
Or this may have been the old technology too.
Oh, before what we're used to now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other possibility. We haven't seen it, so oh my gosh, look at this. But it could have been like in the wonderful sultry days of October 1936. This was quite common in the industry. I don't know.
Me personally, I would be very nervous if we used a bolt to hold that together.
I wouldn't be nervous. I'd be scared.
Alrighty, 40-degree cold start with choke. I think I flooded it a little. That's why it didn't fire up right away.
Oh yeah, it sounded good. This is Homer Simpson's car.
Yeah, that's what gets me. Well, now it's fun. So you pull it out, you start the car, you hop out the car, and you put it back.
Once you're driving, it's tied to warm up. And the choke allowed the engine to run a little bit richer at the start.
To get it going, right?
Yeah, to get it going. If the choke wasn't set up right, or if you went a little bit wacko with it, you'd flood the engine, flood the carburetor, which meant it wouldn't start.
I feel very foreign coming in since I thought I knew cars. I feel like those memes of the babies where it's like, please let me be born into the royal family. And it's like, you were born in the middle of Ohio to teenage parents.
Leave Ohio alone, for God's sake. Welcome back, rodent. Leave poor Ohio alone. They've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And I'm like, what? Shout out to all the teenage parents out there.
Oh yeah, look at these.
Whoa!
Oh, no.
What? At a car?
Hang on.
What?
66 Chevelle looked like it was hit by, what do we got here?
What?
Oh my God, a T-Bird!
55 or 56 T-Bird. And, a Pontiac, not a GTO though.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Somebody wasn't awake.
I'd have to fight that for.
Or bring out your disintegrator and just blast them.
There you go. It looks like a lot of these, thankfully, aren't too bad, but some body work is going to definitely.
I think these might be.
Yeah, that one was because those were show cars too. Those were cars that people took care of. Oh my God. Etty, are you still alive after that one? Knock 3 times if you're still alive after seeing that. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, fortunately, it looks like for most of them, it was minor. That first one, though, with that, where is it? Hang on.
Pontiac, not a GTO, though.
This one. Fuck me. This one is just, oh my God. This one is just so bad. Like, it's fucking crumpled. The body work that's gonna be needed for that is just, oh my God. That hurts so much.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody wasn't awake.
I'd have to fight that for.
Or bring out your disintegrator and just blast them.
There you go. It looks like a lot of these, thankfully, aren't too bad, but some body work is going to definitely.
I think these might be a lot worse than you thought.
Oh, really?
Case in point, the best way to fix that Chevelle would be to replace the quarter panel, because it actually could send some of its fun and excitement of action into the roof sail panel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is, and I just can't figure out how it happened.
Bad.
I can tell you how it happened. Some dude got distracted by the pretty ladies walking around.
It should never have happened.
My favorite is the trafficators. They're the early turn signals. And you operate them by hitting this switch,
Oh yeah.
and they pop out like that.
They were called
How
semaphore
cool
turn
is that?
signals.
We've got the window mechanism. It's a quick release. So
Driver
if you
only.
just pull this out, look how fast the window goes up.
Oh.
Lever, and you've got some footwell vents. Another interesting feature
Cool.
of the door panel is the adjusting armrest to go up or down. Down here is this little weird compartment here, and if you unlock it, out pops a do-it-yourself toolkit.
Oh my God!
Above it, you got the glove box door. Previous owner left some vintage Philip Morris cigarettes in there.
I want those.
Unfiltered cigarettes.
I need those.
Wow. And that's in like a tin, too.
Rough to smoke back in the day. Back here is like extremely comfortable, and then pull out your tray to
You can have a meal on the road,
or
Bob.
have a drink, and when you're done, close it back up and enjoy the back seat of
Looks
this
like a
wonderful
Bentley Mark 6.
Wow. That was some serious automotive eye bleach for everything we just went through. That car was fucking awesome. Like, the features on that car were fucking awesome. Like, holy crap. Cars need to bring back some of those kind of features. Cars need to bring back some of those. Yeah, well, no kidding, Eki. Don't smoke those cigarettes. You'll probably vaporize the second a flame hits it. But, I mean, that was obviously a serious luxury car. But they need to bring back some of those features. Those were so cool. Those were so fucking cool.
That is so cool. I'm so jealous at the fact that, like, how he can roll his window up and down. Listen, the little EG we got has roll-up windows, and I hate roll-up windows. I want that.
If you're on the passenger side in this car, it's a regular roll-up. That was driver's door only. They
Yeah.
What?
Tolls and such. Get the window down. Remember, in England, it's raining. Okay, just to get the window open real quick so you get in and out. Passengers, of course, had the usual delightful, slow thing. The toolkit, of course, was very important because it was British and therefore needed maintenance on the road.
That's cool. I mean, I'm pro manufacturers putting toolkits in their cars.
I remember Bentley started as a sports car. People forget that. And they turned into this thing after Rolls-Royce bought them.
Salespeople.
Yeah.
Click here
Ow!
to watch Bob break down why some concept cars never made it into production. All right, thank you, Bob, so much for being here today with me.
I hope my eye heals.
Rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Not if I see you first.
There you go.
That was just... You know what? I'm glad we got that mechanical eye bleach at the end. That was such a good way to close that video out because, man, those features on that Bentley were just incredible. Because that was not a car fail. That was a car win, 100%.